most original talk radio station anywhere. We are LA Talk Radio at latalkradio.com.
You're listening to Question Reality. Question Reality with Priscilla Leona. Priscilla Leona. Only on LA Talk Radio.
Hi, welcome to Question Reality. I'm your host, Priscilla Leona, and we're coming to you live from Studio City, California. Our show is broadcast every Sunday from 5 p.m. to 5:50 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If this is your first time tuning in, our show will help you question your reality. This show is for you if you were, are, or might be considering a career in the entertainment industry. Our guests will provide advice and resource information on how and what it takes to successfully pursue a career in show business. Our guests work in various professions of entertainment, so that means we will definitely have someone on the show, sooner or later from a career that you are interested. If you want to check out our past guests, read their bios, listen to their interview instantly, or download one of the shows, go to the LA Talk Radio website, latalkradio.com. If you're listening to me, you're already there. So you go to the link at the top of the website that says Channel 1. You scroll down and look for the graphic of our show, Question Reality, and click the link. This will take you directly to our archive page where you can view the list of past guests. Our shows are also available for download on iTunes. Yay! Albert, aren't we also on, what is that called? The Android?
The Android app.
Yes, there is an Android app for, what is that, regular phones?
For Android phones.
For Android. Oh, that makes sense. Android app for Android phones. I don't know. There's the iPhone, the Android, I'm not technologically sound. So, all right. So, there you go. All right. So, you can download us on iTunes under the podcast section. Is it session or section? Section, yes. And you just type in Question Reality Radio in the search box if you want to find out about future guests. You can visit the Question Reality website directly at questionrealityshow.com. That's questionrealityshow.com. And as always, we have a fantastic guest for you today. Her name is Missy Garland. Missy Garland. I love that name. I love that name. Missy Garland. She is among many other things. Oh my gosh, she's so many things. But today we're going to focus on one of her many fantastic professions, and that is celebrity makeup artist and stylist. And now my headphones are sliding off. Somebody had a big head who was in here before. No offense. So let me adjust that. Okay. So first, I want to wish everybody a happy Valentine's Day. And
yay! Happy Valentine's Day.
Albert, if you forgot, it's Valentine's Day tomorrow. Hopefully you didn't. I know my
hint.
I know my mouth is watering now at the thought of getting a hold of some chocolates. But Missy, are you going to do chocolates tomorrow? What's Danny?
Yes.
Danny's got
I don't know,
chocolates.
but champagne and chocolates are right up my alley.
Oh, yeah.
You can't celebrate Valentine's Day without chocolate.
Yeah, champagne, chocolates, and KY jelly. Get it ready. Get it ready, people. Now, if you guys don't know who Missy is, now you say, who is Missy Garland? Well, if you ask her husband, he's going to say that she is a great wife and the best mom in the world to daughter Samantha. And if you ask her friends, they're going to say that she is one of the most thoughtful, sensitive, caring, generous, and loyal friends that you could ever be honored to have in your life.
Aww.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. And if you ask a female stranger who has just seen her create makeup magic, well, they are going to say that she is an extremely talented person, and most likely they are going to beg her to schedule an appointment to get the perfect smoky eye or the cat eye matched with the perfect hairdo and an outfit where she wears a bra on the outside of the shirt. So that's what you're going to get.
Hot smoking, smoldery looking makeup.
That's right. And Missy has had many careers in the entertainment industry, and now I could go on for like an hour, but some of them include producer for Playboy. She was a model, actress, voiceover actress, and writer. However, Missy is most known for her work as a celebrity makeup artist and stylist, and some of her clients include Julia Roberts, Cameron Diaz, Sharon Stone, Ella McPherson, Roseanne, Farrah Fawcett, Raquel Welch, Donna Mills, Suzanne Summers, Whitney Houston, Kelly Lynch, Melissa Gilbert, Dionne Warwick, Cal Burnett, Florence Henderson, Denzel Washington, Matthew Broderick, son of a bitch, this is a long list, Kirk Douglas, Carol O'Connor, oh, I loved him, and Michael Bolton. And Missy also creates makeup magic for commercials, and some of her clients include Mountain Dew, Orville Redenbacher, Wesson Oil, Kentucky Fried Chicken, oh my God, I'm getting hungry already, LA Gear, Nike, Hawaiian Tropic, McDonald's, Taste Buds are now exploding, Macy's, Bloomingdale's, Close Time, Ross Dress for Less, Mervyn's, Miller's Outpost, Nordstrom's, May Company, Broadway, Chevrolet. Gee whiz! She's done everything. Okay. And then on magazines, she's done domestic and international, and it includes Playboy, Italian Mac, Shape, Oprah Magazine, Maxim, International Mail, Teen, LA Style, Italian Amica, and International Passion. And Missy has worked as a makeup artist and stylist on television as well, and some of the shows include CBS, Larry King, oh, I want to get a scoop on him, CNN, and she's also worked on music videos and games, which include Motley Crue, Garth Brooks, Whitney Houston, Tomb Raiders, Eidos Interactive London, and finally, as I'm out of breath and need some water, Missy Garland received a makeup award for working on the Garth Brooks music video When Thunder Rolls. Wow, that's an impressive resume. We need to clap for that. Wow, yeah. My God, Missy.
That sounds good.
I know.
That's a lot of work.
Sound good? That does.
That's a lot of hustle and bustle and working my little behind off and schlepping that giant makeup and hair kit all over Hollywood and LA and.
My God, you have got to be, I'm going to just start. I want to go way back because, as you know, if you are an audience listener on a regular basis, you know I always start with this question. And I want to go back to the beginning of little Missy Garland, and I want to ask, what did you want to be or do when you grew up as a profession?
You know what? I grew up on a farm in this tiny town, one street, one light, one bank, one clock. I was a little country bumpkin.
Yeah.
Never wore makeup. My hair was a mess. I was a total tomboy. It was the last thing I ever thought about. I played sports, so I thought I wanted to do something with athletics and sports. Had no idea in my wildest dream I'd be living in Hollywood and working with celebrities and doing TV and film. So it's been very exciting, very challenging. But for me, I love the drama. So,
but when you were little, did you say, oh, I want to be a model? I want to be did you feel that you wanted to put makeup on people, or did you feel like you wanted to be?
I never owned a doll. My mom never
think
bought us toys like dolls. We just went outside and made mudslides and Tarzan swings and little forts in the barrack and straw tunnels. Because I just hung out with my brother and his friends. There were no girls in the surrounding community, so I just hung out with all the boys. And then they would chase me and throw rocks at me, so I became fast. So by the time I got to school, I was athletic because I had to outrun the boys. And people were like, God, you're fast, and you can jump far and jump high. And I'm like, you got to be to dodge a rock.
So they never caught you and got you in the haystack, huh? In the barn? Okay, no. We'll pass on that question. Okay, so when did you first decide that what you wanted to do professionally? And when you did decide, what steps did you take to pursue your dream career?
I accidentally got entered in a Miss Maryland teen pageant.
How do you accidentally
Someone actually put the paperwork together and put me in it because it was sent to me in the mail. When I got it in the mail, it said, someone has registered you for the Miss Teen pageant. And I was like, oh, I don't think so. But I went and met this lady that does makeup and hair, and she was kind of wild and kooky and funny and sassy and lovable. And I think it was partly her. I loved her as a character, maybe like one of my favorite characters of all time. But maybe what she did with me, too, because she took me from like this natural, plain country bumpkin to more hot and modern and fashiony and edgy. And I think I was so in love with the transformation, too, that I decided from that moment that I was going to do hair and makeup forever. And I wanted to do TV and film and all that kind of stuff.
So this was when you were an early teen.
Mm-hmm.
So because of this woman, your life was set. Isn't that amazing how one life touches another life?
Like an hour of someone's time was like the most transforming time.
And did you ever tell her that? Did she ever know, or she never knew?
I don't think she ever knew. I just met her once, and she completely transformed me, made me laugh the whole time, and it was like a mental, emotional, physical, spiritual transformation.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And that's what I consider what I do, is I transform people and make them feel better on the inside and the outside, and I can see them light up and feel good, and hopefully there's some healing with it and inspiration that it stays with them and their aura.
Like she did for you. Wow,
Exactly.
It's a shame she never knew that. She'd be very proud of you. So what made you decide to move to LA rather than, say, New York, which is known as one of the fashion capitals of the world?
I met Danny. I was working for Sebastian as a platform guest artist, traveling all over the United States, speaking and cutting hair with laser beams and doing crazy, wild stuff.
I've never even heard of that.
Oh my God, that was so much fun. And we were staying at the Marriott in Woodland Hills because that's where the Casenzas live, in Woodland Hills. And so Danny happened to go out that night. I was getting ready to go upstairs. I was tired. I was jet lagged. He asked me to dance. My whole world was changed. 9 months later, I was moving to California. Had no idea. I was a country bumpkin with like this little town in L.A., Hollywood. I had no idea how to read a Thomas guide. I didn't know how to get from page 1A to 3D. I'm like, maps? Who needs a map? There's just one street where I grew up.
So when you met him, was it more you were moving here for him, or was there some sort of plan where you said, okay, well, I know that it's the entertainment business here, so I can get a job in makeup? Were you thinking about that too?
I think I thought about both of it, and that's, I was so successful on the East Coast that I thought exactly what you said. Oh, it's LA, it's Hollywood, I can get a job. I had no idea how competitive it was. I just had no idea what I was in for. It was a lot different than what I thought, that's for sure.
So when you moved here, what were some of the trials and tribulations that you went through when you first moved here?
Well, just going to the studios and going to photographers, I was told that I had to build a portfolio and a book to show my work and to, really sell myself. And I worked for free for a year and a half. And one day I gave up, and I was like, that's it. It's been a year and a half. I got a job handing out fragrance samples, dressed up like Cleopatra. Oh, my God. And then next day, and I felt like I really let go. You know that old adage, like you kind of have to let go, and the universe brings it in. The next day, Zenobia was like a small, mid-level makeup and hair agency called me, and they're like, we want to represent you. We want to sign you. And that kind of turned my life around. But I had been at it for like a year and a half, and hopefully it would never take anyone that long. But it takes a while when you don't know anyone to establish clients and catalog clients and TV, and it was an amazing journey, though. I don't regret any of it.
So what advice would you give the audience if they were thinking of moving to another city to pursue their dream career? How would you prepare?
That's a great question. I just had a plan A. So the stakes were high and it was do or die. And I'm glad I didn't overthink it, because I overthink things. And if I thought about it, I might not have done it. So I would say follow your heart, your passions, and your dreams, and just do it. But if you can have a plan of who you're going to go see and map it out, sometimes it doesn't work, the plan, but it is good to have one. For me, it worked out, but it took a long time. But now I have all these great stories. I'm a writer, so I love all the characters that I met and all the experiences that I had, and
so
I'll always treasure them.
So to prepare, you never like saved money. You never. As she
These are all the
laughs
things
at
you
me,
should do.
Save money. Have a place to live when I moved there. Actually, you did, because you met Danny. I would imagine, right?
Thank God, because he was so stable, and yes, thank God. But I think you should have a plan. But I did everything that you should never do.
But if you're not a planner, then do what Missy did.
Just do it.
Meet a hot guy and come on over. Now, 5 characteristic traits do you feel that it takes to make a successful career in the entertainment business?
I think number 1, like any career, you have to really believe in yourself deeply. And if you don't believe in yourself, other people aren't going to believe in you. And you got to be on top of your game and know what's hot, what's in style, what's in fashion, because all the designers, all the magazines, all the photographers want cutting edge, and they want to see something original and authentic that's never been done. So I think you got to be able to sell yourself as well, because it is so competitive. And then you have to be not only artistic and creative, but you really have to have that multidimensional marketing business aspect, because without it, you're just an artist meandering through the universe going, oh my God. So you have to have the whole package in this day and age, because it's really competitive out there.
Yeah, that makes sense. So you got to be creative and artistic. So I guess you should know if you're creative and artistic, first of all. If not, ask some people. But then ask them again when they're drunk, and you'll get the truth.
I mean, I cannot imagine doing a career for me where I wasn't creative. I would die if I was stifled or I didn't do something creative, whether it was acting or writing or makeup. And I think there are some people that just fall into that niche, that category where it's like, if I don't do something creative, I'm just going to wilt like a little flower.
I would imagine another characteristic trait would have to be patience. You really have to be patient.
That's a good quality trait, yeah.
You do. Because,
and being tenacious and persistent and determined and never give up attitude.
And you have to self-promote, too, I would imagine, because, I mean, who's going to promote you or market you if you don't?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's not like you could go on the corner and say, hey, can I do a smoky eye?
No, when you drive by the corner, I used to see the girls standing out on the corners on Hollywood Boulevard.
That was
so
not to
anymore.
do makeup, Missy. You just moved here. They wanted other things. They had another career. Totally.
That's funny.
Yeah. But yeah, so I would imagine patience, persistence. You have to be able to self-market, network.
Determined, never give up,
right.
Organized, to be able to do the networking, to do the follow-ups. Because a lot of people that are the assistants or the PAs, those are the people that end up being directors and filmmakers and doing finance, and those are the people sometimes that can bring you back and hire you.
Right.
So,
now, what 2 characteristics do you feel that will absolutely cause you to bomb out as a makeup artist? Like, if you have these characteristic traits, makeup artistry is not for you.
I think if you don't like creative, artistic work and you don't believe in yourself and you don't, I think that if you practice on your friends and your neighbors and people come to you and ask you questions about style and you like fashion, I think it's a great industry choice because you're into it, you're looking at magazines and you're going online and you're researching every possible thing and then coming up with new ideas.
So if you gravitate towards magazines, if you gravitate towards watching these reality shows where they're doing hair and makeup.
Or the Style Channel or MTV, like some of the music videos where they're creating new.
That might be that's what tells you that you want to pursue a career in that area. But I would say, personally speaking, one of the characteristic traits you've got to, if you're impatient, this is not the job for you because you deal with a lot of divas and a lot of people who will throw some water at your ass in a red hot minute.
I've had tequila thrown at me. I've had chairs hurled at me by famous photographers.
Yes.
I've had tea thrown at me from coked up clients. I've seen supermodels get their eyelashes ripped out from lash curlers by flamboyant gay boys. I've seen it all. I have so many great stories.
Wow! Oh, I have some stories too. But I would imagine that is not for you because you have to have a thick skin. Right?
I did at first.
Be hypersensitive.
I used to go home every day crying because I'm really sensitive. But then after it happens like 100 times, you get tough, and you learn to stand up for yourself and not be sensitive and not be attached because they don't mean anything by it.
Right.
They're not worried about it. They're not thinking about it.
Right.
They're just venting their emotional life at you.
Then you begin to cry when it doesn't happen.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have any good stories for my journal today.
Yeah, and then you also, I would think, you can't be afraid of touching people. Do you know I met a girl who wanted to be a makeup artist and she didn't want to touch anybody. She used to wear plastic gloves.
Oh, that would not be a good.
Yeah. So you do have to touch people. So if
and
that
especially
grosses
now
you
in
out-
2011, we're using waterproof cream blushers where they have to be applied with your fingers. A lot of the new oils are being applied with the fingers. Makeups. A lot of times we're using fingers to blend like the smoky eyes. We didn't use fingers for years. It was like taboo. Brushes, sponges,
Yeah.
sanitary.
Oh.
Now it's almost cool to put sanitizer on your finger, but really use your fingers to create the moisture because your little finger pads have oil ducts in them. So it creates like the whole, blended.
Yeah, but I don't want your oil in with my oil. And oh my God, and I'm like a germaphobe. I think about, oh my God, does he have herpes? Does she have herpes? And I think about because I used to be an actress as well and a plus size model. And when I would go on the shoots, they would be trying to get that finger coming at me without any protection. I'm like, dental dam or a condom, but no raw. You're not barebacking on
That's
my
so
face.
funny.
No bareback. No, I absolutely
When I
would
first started
insist
working
on a
with my
brush.
fingers and the companies you start coming out with products that you could only use your fingers, I was like,
No.
this is icky, this is gross. But then you see how beautiful it looks. And I'll tell you, those waterproof cream blushers that you put on with your fingers, they last forever. Forever. Like they're 8 to 12 hour maximum. So they stay on the longest wearing.
Yeah.
And so do the grease paint sticks and the waterproof eyeliners. Use your fingers, a little bit of oil. You got 12-hour coverage.
Yeah, if you're doing it, then I say go for it. But if somebody else is not coming at me, Okay, so what type of schooling or training do you recommend to be able to compete in the current world as a stand-up makeup artist or stylist?
What's interesting in California, you don't even have to have a license to be an artist, which in most states you do. And that's so surprising because there's probably more makeup artists per capita out here in California than anywhere else. I went to a school to get my esthetician's license, Von Lee near Baltimore, and I also went and got my cosmetologist license. And I still, 20 years later, still go to classes. I just went to 2 MAC classes and got updated because there's so many new products. And with your hair, there's new tools, and then there's new ideas. Like now they're using oil in the makeup because oil cuts oil and it makes it stay a lot longer. And years ago, it was considered really gross to put oil on your skin.
Yeah.
So you have to really stay current
But
with what's happening.
what if a client already has like really oily skin?
That's a great question. I have a really oily skin.
Me too.
And I'm telling you to wash your skin with oil now and to put makeup, put 2 drops of oil, mix it in the makeup. Your makeup looks really radiant and luminous and it really glows and it really lasts like 3 times as long. It's amazing.
What do you
It's
mean?
phenomenal.
What kind of oil are you talking about? Like,
Well, there's different products now where they're using natural oils like rosemary oil and eucalyptus oil and very natural oils. They're very light and clean feeling, but
and you put it in like your
in the makeup
foundation base. You just
brand new.
Do you drop it in the whole bottle or do you put
I take
it
a little
like,
palette. I take 2 drops and put it in the makeup, and it works phenomenal.
But doesn't it make your face feel oily though?
No, it actually works the opposite because the oil cuts the oil, and it actually just looks really clean, and you don't get any of that dehydration. It doesn't really look like makeup, so you can use a lot less.
Wow. I would have never thought to put oil in oil. I would have definitely gone that route. See, a little tip. We're getting some tips, people.
Little secret.
So, without naming names, give us some horror stories, because we were talking about that earlier, that you personally witnessed as a makeup artist, stylist in the entertainment industry, so that when a person is going into that business, they'll know what to expect if this is the right career choice. So we already talked about you might get things
hurled at you or thrown at you.
You might do the makeup and they might hate it, but the director wants it that way. So what do you do? Because sometimes the director wants it that way and the person does not.
Especially when you're working with a celebrity. I can't tell you how many times they set out their products and they're like, you will use this brush, this tool, this, these products and these tools. It's tricky. It's really tricky because they're your client and you want to make them happy, but the network is your client too. So it's like a give and take. I remember so many fashion photo shoots that I used to do, and the photographer would be like, change the color, change the hair. And we would go back into the makeup room and I would have a very like you said, diva or prima donna, and she'd be like, just pretend that you're changing my lips, but don't change them. And we'd spend 10 minutes talking, and then we'd walk back out, and I'd go, how's that? You like that better? And the photographer would go, oh, that's much better. Sometimes it's a power play. That doesn't always work, but...
So what else could possibly happen? They could not like you, and they could
scream at you.
Okay.
They could fire you. They could, I've had people like throw things at me, hurl things at me. If you're not used to that, if
you don't come from a domestic violence background, if you weren't whipped with a belt or shoes thrown at you, if you're not old school abused, this is not the job for you. Like those kids on Super Nanny, they're not going to make it as a celebrity makeup artist, right?
That's funny.
They're like beating their own damn mother. So basically,
I think there's more temperamentalness though and more ego in this industry than probably any other thing.
Right.
And you're dealing with illusions because people have ideas and images in their mind, and sometimes they're real and sometimes they're optical illusions, and you have to fit whatever their dream or their illusion is. And sometimes that's possible and sometimes that's not possible.
All right. So let's say a person moved here to become the next great makeup artist, but doesn't know the first place to start to look for work. What is the best route to take?
I think the best thing to do is to get out there and meet photographers, especially if you can meet photographers that do headshots, because you can make some cash and you can get some test prints, and then you can build a collection of your portfolio. Then you can start to go see magazines, and then you can, work your way up from there. I think that's a good way to make a little bit of side money, get some experience, what looks good on film, what doesn't, and then also build a portfolio and say, this is what I'm capable of, this is what I can do. Unless you have connections. I moved to Hollywood and I didn't have any connections. I didn't know anyone. I had to start at ground zero all by myself.
Well, that'll toughen you up for sure.
Builds character and inner strength.
Now, I don't want to be a Nelly negative. Made that one up first. I'm going to trademark that. I don't want to be a Nelly negative, and I know it is really a variable, but what would you say is a reasonable amount of time that would pass after starting in the makeup industry as an artist and finding that you have to actually take a day job to support yourself before you start saying, oh my God, I might be thinking about another career?
That's a great question. I think it's so different for everyone. Like with me as an actress, I will never give up. And I've been at it for 12 years. I'll be Jessica Tandy at 61 years old, booking Driving Miss Daisy. So it's do or die, never give up. But I hope that it takes people shorter than a year. But I think it takes at least a year to build a book and get connected and start to get money, positive cash flow in your way. Because there are expenses that you have to put out.
A lot. I heard a lot. My friend Linda, she's a makeup artist. She said that you can spend a couple grand on your box.
Absolutely. Not to mention all the tools, and you need multiple sets of brushes and then all the products, and you can spend a fortune on it.
That is something that we didn't talk about, people. If you want to be a makeup artist, you've got to start saving, because from what I understand, to get started, you need at least $500 to get your basic makeup kit. Is that right?
If you could do that, if you could do it for $500, that would be...
Yeah, because she was saying $500 to $1,000.
And that doesn't count the schooling and the training, because you really should... I have 2 friends that never really went to school, and they work and they're successful, but I'd say 98% of my friends are very well trained and still go to classes and are highly skilled and schooled.
Well, so if you come from another town and you say you want to be a makeup artist in a place other than New York or LA, where do you go to get a job? Like, what if they don't have any makeup schools? How could you really realistically get a job doing, say, wedding makeovers and things like that?
There's so many categories. You could go see the modeling.
What could you do if you weren't in New York or LA? What kind of jobs could you get?
If I lived on the East Coast where I grew up, I would go see the modeling agencies, and I would put it out there that I wanted to do hair and makeup for their portfolios, for their magazines, for their commercials, for all their bookings. You could also go see local TV stations or local networks and, work in the green room, get the newscasters ready. You could also...
that's a great idea, yeah.
And believe it or not, a lot of small towns and small cities have hair and makeup agencies.
You could hook up with like wedding planners, right? And maybe
wedding
do
coordinators.
Wedding coordinators and do
photographers,
brides,
bridal photographers.
Bridal. What else could you do if you lived in like a little town as a makeup artist?
You could do the modeling, you could do the network, you could do brides, you could do people that want transformation for parties
Halloween
and events,
makeup.
corporate makeup.
Oh, that falls
Halloween
under maybe
makeup.
Special effects, huh?
Yeah.
We don't do special effects here. Now, okay, so let's talk about one of your more recent projects, working on the television show Wedding Day Makeover, which aired on the Learning Channel. Now, let's start. How did you get that gig? Because that's a really good gig. How'd you get that?
Those aren't easy to come by. I worked for a company called Design Visage, which is in Orange County, and the owner, Karen, I've worked with her for 10 seasons, 10 years. Wow. And so TLC called her for a long time. Mama.
Do you say that she's been my friend for 10 seasons, or were you actually working on a show with her for 10 seasons?
No, I've worked with her for 10 years, 10 seasons.
10
That's
seasons.
also a long time.
I like that.
The bridal hair and makeup is even tougher than working with celebrities.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
I think because they're under a lot of stress. They're overspent. They're making a lot of huge decisions. You're meeting them in the last month before their wedding. So I think it's a really stressful, emotional time, and they're fighting with their family or the groom's family, and they're not sure about what they want.
There's a shotgun wedding in pursuit.
Well, that's funny. But TLC connected her because she's kind of famous in the wedding industry. She's had her company for almost 30 years, so everybody knows her. And when they called her, she called me and she said, Missy, you got to come in here and audition. I put together a team of 4 people, and they want to audition you. They want to see you on tape. And that's how it all started. And it was over several month process.
So they contacted her, and you being a independent makeup artist for her, she decided you'd be perfect for that.
That's how that happened.
And boy, if you want to see Missy do some makeup magic, you want to check her out on YouTube, youtube.com. And what is your name on, oh my gosh, what is your name?
Missy Makeup Magic.
Is it Missy Makeup Magic? Yeah, so you want to go to youtube.com, and it's Missy Makeup Magic. And she's also on twitter.com under Missy G Makeup, and also she has a website, missygarland.com. But you got to check these videos out. She is fantastic. I love watching her on these shows. I mean, personally, when you watch it, the makeup is incredible, but you got to look at her outfits, people. She is so creative. I mean, the things that she puts together, I'm like, wow, I love that. Oh, my God, I love that. And that's where my eye goes. I'm going to just be honest. I love the makeup, but I want to see what you're wearing.
It's funny because they wanted us to wear really bright colors on film. And so we would show up. We looked really eccentric or out there or outside the borders.
I didn't notice any
But
of
on the
other
show,
ones.
It doesn't look that bright.
No,
it just looks like you've
normal.
got a little bit of color. It does look normal on the show.
No, you definitely kicked ass, because I was looking at the other girls, and they look kind of, no offense, but they just look they look good, but they just didn't pop for me personally like you did, because you would come and you got the bra over top the shirt, and then you got these boots coming up to your thighs, and I'm like, hey now, she's going 80s old school. I love it. Ow. So she was really Madonna-ing it up. I made up a word. So now, what is your favorite medium to work in? Why? Like example, film, TV, magazines, music video, because you've done it all.
I think for fashion, if you really want to be creative and cross the border and go outside the zone, I think fashion is awesome. The designers, the magazines, the fashion shows. TV and film is great. It's steady work. But a lot of times you're there early in the morning, 4 or 5 in the morning. You get everyone ready, and then you sit around and wait for a multitude of hours.
That's a very good point.
So it's
film
hurry up
and television,
wait.
Hurry up and wait. They will get your
hours
ass
and hours.
out. Time to make the donuts. Time.
And
People
then when
out
they're
here
ready,
don't know they don't know that commercial. You remember that?
I do.
You remember
It's
that?
Time to make the donuts.
That's East Coast Dunkin' Donuts. So.
Which I grew up with, Dunkin' Donuts.
Yes. See, Missy grew up in she's from Maryland, and I went to school in Maryland, so that's how we know the Dunkin' Donut man. But yeah, if you're working on film or TV, you will get up at the crack of dawn, and you will wait and wait and wait and wait and wait.
And then when you have to be ready, they look at the clock and the AD comes back and go, okay, everyone's ready now, chop chop.
Oh yeah, and your ass better be ready, willing, and able, or you'll get fired.
Even if you've been sitting in thick Blasco makeup for 12 hours.
That's
when they
right.
want you, they want you.
That's
If it's
right.
9:30 at night and you've been there since 4 in the morning, it's like wham bam, you're on.
Yeah,
Now.
you will work. They have such a thing, and I don't know why they name it this, but it's called golden time. Golden time, when you've worked how many, 17, 18 hours. That means you're getting paid a lot of money, but you will be up 16, 17 hours. So maybe what do you think? Magazines is your favorite?
I like, well, to show creativity because you're allowed to explore, new ideas. And then TV and film, I think, well, now they're doing all the 40s looks are so hot right
That's
now.
exactly what I wanted to talk
The
about.
40s
What are the
hair.
current looks? What's going on out there? Me and my ponytail 24 hours a day. Albert, I tried to curl my hair today. Now, I keep my hair in a ponytail. I tried to curl it
looks
up
good.
Well, I tried to curl it for Missy because I thought, oh, Missy's coming. I'll put a curl on it. And
you
what
got
is-
some volume.
I got some
volume.
volume. You know what Albert said, though? I said, oh, so how's my hair look, Albert? He said, oh, you look like a founding father. He said,
I
my
thought you were gonna say a
curls look
fountain.
like the curls from the George Washington. He said I had founding father hair.
Fountain, you mean cascading curls. Fountain.
Thank you.
That's what he meant to say,
Damn
I'm sure.
founding father. Oh God. So what are the looks? Now I'm a cat eye person and a smoky eye person.
Smoky eye is
How
the
do we
hottest
do a smoky
look.
eye?
Should we do a smoky eye
We're
today?
gonna do one real quick, but what are the looks right now? The 40s is I've not
The
seen
40s
anybody.
is hot. And they're doing modern retro 40s with the hair, the waves, the sexy waves. And then the 40s updos. A little bit of the 50s is coming back. And then even the 30s with like they call them victory rolls in the front. And the low hair to the side.
That's what I have, a victory roll, not a founding father roll. It's a victory roll.
And down hair is huge.
Yeah.
People were afraid to wear their hair down, and now people want their hair big and sexy. And the 80s is coming back a little bit.
I
A little
love the 80s.
teasing. Na, 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 na,
Oh,
na.
my God.
And a lot of spray and a lot of
Yeah.
product. People didn't use product for a long time, and now it's like, put some spray on and some more spray and some more spray.
Yeah, Cyndi Lauper, Madonna, yeah. Now let's talk pay scale. What can you expect to starting out in various venues?
Unless you're really lucky or you really know someone, I think that you can expect to make nothing at first. And then I think
Intern.
and that's another good way to assist another artist who works all the time, or intern with someone who's in the union or works all the time. And then if you can get with a headshot photographer and make some cash, you can maybe make 75 to 150 at first and then go to 300. And then if you start doing fashion magazines and fashion layouts and then work your way up, if you are successful, work with an agency, I think you can expect to make 600 to 1,200 a day. But starting out, nothing.
That's good. Now that leads me into my next question. Now I know there's a union for makeup artists, and like being an actor, I've heard there are pros and cons of being a member. So first, are you a member, and do you have to be a member to work on union projects? And how do you become a member, and what would you say? Okay, all right, let's just start with, first of all, are you a member?
I'm not a member of the makeup union.
Do you have to be a member to work on union projects?
You do.
Okay.
It's just like acting.
Okay, yeah.
It's almost the
that's what I
same thing.
thought. Yeah.
For me, I was always lucky. I worked for Playboy for 6 years. I worked for Larry King for 2.5 years. And I was always lucky to find jobs where you didn't have to be union. The problem with the union, unless you know someone and you can really get fitted into the union, is that once you're union, you can't do non-union stuff. So it seems like there's maybe a little bit less work. And for films, there's a lot more work non-union. Fashion, magazines, that's all non-union. Music videos, non-union. So they're both really good. There's pros and cons to both. And there's also dues to be in the union. So you sign the union, you pay the big lump sum due.
Right.
Then you pay the dues every year, and you have to work so many days to reap the benefits as well.
Right. So it's very much like being in SAG.
Very much.
Yeah. So
yeah.
what exactly are the benefits? Then it seems like they get all your money, but you're not getting. What the hell are they doing for me? Show me the money. What are they?
Well, if you work on TV show after TV show, or you get a hit show like 2.5 Men or Seinfeld, something that runs for a long time, you can get retirement benefits. You can get health insurance benefits.
But you still have to make a fortune. Like in SAG, don't quote me on this, but the last time I checked, it was like you had to make $7,000 quarterly, maybe, and I probably got that all wrong for
lot.
you.
But it is a lot. You have to work so many days and make so much a year, and that's, TV shows usually film 6 months out of the year. Now it's different with the different scheduling and show times, but you really have to work from show to show to show to show to show without a break to really reap the benefits. And some people do that, but I know some of my friends that I know that are in the union are much older. It's like an older group.
So so you were able to be on this reality show and be a principal makeup artist, and you were non-union.
That actually was a prerequisite. They didn't think they were going to take me because they thought I was a union actress.
Oh.
And they told me, they said, if you're a union actress, you cannot be on this reality show.
Ooh.
So I was actually really lucky, and I've been lucky.
So I say go non-union. Don't join the union. Oh, now, so what can we expect to see you working on in the future? What's little Missy Makeup going to be doing?
I'm currently pitching a couple ideas, different ideas for my own reality TV show.
Oh my God! Can I? Oh God! You have made me so happy.
And you and Albert are going to have to be on it now.
Yeah. What would we do?
Oh my God! I have 2 ideas. I don't want to reveal the ideas, but currently working on that. And then I'm a writer, so I also have 2 sitcoms currently being pitched at the studios. I have a book called Before You Say Yes, Read This Book. That's coming out this spring. And I hope to be in the sitcoms that we sell as well as an actress and stylist and makeup artist.
What's the book about?
The book is so funny. It's a collection of funny stories. My other partner, Karen, who owns Design Visage, is my partner. She helped me write it. And it's every story that you can possibly think that went wrong when someone asked a girl to be her bridesmaid in the wedding. We have 30 different stories that are hilarious. And then we have insights about how to choose a friend to be in your wedding, what's involved. I don't think people have any idea financially, emotionally, on any level what's involved. And we just collected from the years of doing this wacky, funny, insane stories that are real. These are all real, totally real stories. And you're like, nuh-uh. Like a fire sprinkler alarm went off on a bride one time because she hung her dress on the fire sprinkler alarm. Yeah. And just, just crazy stories. You have to read the book. It's funny.
We are going to look for your book. So you are going to post it, I would imagine, on MissyGarland.com, where you can see all of her videos. And she also has her acting demo reel on there, so you can get a little sample of her acting ability. She's very funny. And so MissyGarland.com and YouTube. Definitely do. What's it? YouTube.
Missy Makeup Magic.
Missy Makeup Magic. And you got to look at these videos. They are hysterical. I was laughing. Some of these brides, I just watched her face, like when you did some of the makeup, and I thought you did a great job. Every single look, I was like, I love it. I love it. I love it. I'm like, if you see these brides, the makeup was an improvement on some of, oh God, I shouldn't be saying. Okay, Missy does a great job. They look fantastic, everyone. But some of the girls actually had the audacity to say, I don't like it. Oh no, I don't like it. And I'm like, oh honey, you should like it.
That's the drama of the show, that they would bring their mother, their sister, their best friend, the maid of honor, their bridesmaid, and then they would all have a different opinion. You should wear a lot of makeup. You should wear no makeup. You should wear your hair up. You should wear your hair big. You should wear your hair down.
I know.
So it was like being a referee and trying to make everyone happy. And then there were a couple brides. The hardest thing is when a bride sits in your chair or any client and goes, I have no idea what I want.
Yeah.
Give me some direction.
And then you give them your look.
And then they go,
that's the default look. Missy will give them her look.
I don't like it. I would never wear my hair like this. This isn't what I was thinking. And you go, well, what do you want? What are you thinking? I don't know.
I
I can't help you out. I don't know.
I know. I loved it. That's why you got to watch these videos. I was rolling. And you'll kind of get the way they're edited. You'll get to see the beginning, and then you'll get to see the makeup part, and then you get to see the marriage. So it's a beginning, middle, and end. So allow 10 minutes for that. So now we have 5 minutes, and I want to get Albert's smoky eye going. If we can do it, I don't know. We have a special. Albert, come over here, and I have arranged Missy. Now this is a demand as a makeup artist. She is going to do a smoky eye demonstration on my husband Albert. We don't have another female, and I have to talk.
Totally straight and doesn't wear makeup.
Exactly.
Let me just interject that.
That's right. But I am forcing him to do the smoky eye. Now, the first thing she's doing is she's
putting on an eyeshadow base. And that makes a flawless finish. So you start with like even skin tone and an even base. You've got to do an eyeshadow base, and it makes it waterproof. And it makes it last for a long time. So while he's sweating and breathing hot and he's excited, his makeup is going to last forever. That's the idea. And then what we're going to do is we're going to use a grease paint stick that's waterproof or an eyeliner. And you can't mess up with this. This is like so easy. It's like 1, 2, 3. Because you can use your fingers. You're going to take a black liner or any dark shade. You can use navy. You can use smoky. Have you ever seen Albert with makeup on?
No! It is so freaking bizarre. I know.
He doesn't look worried. He looks like he's really
I know. I'm going to have to dress him up for Halloween. Okay, so she's putting, go ahead, continue.
So I'm using a kohl pencil. You can really use liquid eyeliner. You can use grease paint stick. You can use any kind that you want. There's no right and there's no wrong. And that's the first step is you're going to take eyeliner and you're going to put it on as thick as you want. And then you're going to use your finger, which I know
yucky rubbing.
And you're going to rub it. So you get a little bit of your oil mixed in with it. And then you get that smudged look, like he just woke up, he looks hot, he doesn't need to touch himself up. Everybody wants that like bedhead look, and everybody wants to look good like they didn't try to look good. Like I didn't spend an hour doing my makeup, I just woke up and I looked this good. So we want it really smudged and really blended and really natural. Now I'm using a grease paint stick, and then I'm going to take my finger again. I'm going to lift his lid, and I'm just going to smudge it out. So see how easy that is?
Yeah.
This is like for smoky eyes for dummies. Because you don't want anyone to make you think that it's tricky or it's difficult or you can't do it. Anybody can do this, and it's like 1, 2, 3, easy. But look how good that looks. Open your eye. Look at Priscilla.
Wow, that's incredible.
And it gives his eyes
2 minutes. Oh, God. Missy, we got 2 minutes. What else do we have to do?
So when you look how great this looks. So all
that
your
looks
attention goes to his eye.
fantastic. He looks like a China doll. A little lotus flower. Woo!
Great makeup is when you look at the person and you're like, you look amazing, but you don't look at the makeup necessarily. You just look at them and you're like, trying to study, why do they look so phenomenal?
Yeah.
Look how much this eye stands out.
Wow, I know.
How was that, like 60 seconds that we did it? So
I know, and that's it. That's all you do is use the...
set it with a little bit of powder.
Okay.
And then you're going to take a little bit of a white frost and you're going to put it underneath his brow bone.
Okay.
And you're going to extend this color underneath the eye. And that's it. Step 1, 2, and 3.
Wow.
So simple.
Oh, woo! Bravo!
Thank you, Al.
Yay! That looks
he's
good.
glowing. He's got that radiant luminous.
Oh my God!
Look at me, I'm smoking hot.
He's a smoky eye.
Look, he's posing. He's voguing it a little bit.
I know. Oh my God! He's going to be wearing my bras and putting my heels on when we get home. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to the show today. Join us next Sunday at 5:00 when our guest will be Mike Saccalarides, LA's favorite radio DJ who has dominated daytime radio in Los Angeles for over 25 years at Coast 103.5 FM. And you'll learn how you too can be a top DJ in radio. Thank you, Missy.
Thank you, Priscilla Leona. I'm so happy I got to do your show.
Yay! Promise you'll come back.
Yes, I love your
Woo!
show. Thank you.
Bye, Albert. Say bye. Bye, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day. Bye.
You're listening to Question Reality. with Priscilla Leona. Only on LA Talk Radio.